I went to camp and all I got was this lousy shirt. Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Danny and welcome to my queendom on the internet. I'm so glad that you're here and I hope you stay. Hi everybody. Yes, you can tell by today's topic we're talking about the mess that was Camp LA 2022. Dude, I don't even know where to begin. In case you didn't know, so Camp LA was a festival event ran by Camp Global on October 15th and 16th of 2022, obvi. And it was made to be like this ultimate premiere experience of K-pop. I found out about it because I went to KCON LA, where a friend also went, and she said, we should go to this. It's got so many big names. Kai, Taeyeon, Somi, Icon, Super Junior. I'm just listing people from day one. Monsta X is gonna be there, like literally so many people. No, we had plans to go to Minneapolis to see the Rose, but we're like, this is supposed to be a big event. And right off the bat, I'm like, this is too good to be true. This is gonna be really fishy. It was entirely giving me the When We Were Young festival vibes, you know, where all these artists were like, actually, we're not going. We've never heard of this. We don't know who these people are. That's what it automatically told me. I was like, there's no way that Super Junior's coming. Absolutely no way that Taeyeon is. But they didn't denounce it right away. We're there at KCON, she gives me the pre-sale code. So at this time, it was only pre-sale, and it was, you can only buy the 2-day tickets. Okay, so that night I go home, I paid for the tickets like a dumbass, but I just really wanted to go because this had pretty much everybody that I listened to. Like, it was gonna be fun. So I paid for high nosebleeds. That was the cheapest I possibly could have gotten. And it was $236. After I buy my tickets, I wasn't gonna buy anything more expensive than that because I wanted to go for the experience. I wanted to have fun. There was no really big need for me to be up close and to the front, right? I just wanted to be there. Let's get started with like the drama. People were not buying tickets for this thing. Do I blame them? Absolutely not. If it wasn't for me already having people going, I probably would not have gone to it. I didn't even hear about it. Another thing, you could only go if you could pay for the 2 days. That's the only way that they were selling tickets. Days started getting closer and they could not sell tickets. Like, people weren't buying into it, right? So then they drop it that you can only buy day 1 or day 2. Well, that wasn't enough because people still weren't buying it. They started doing a ton of giveaways, right? But like, company after company were like, oh, we're giving 2-day passes. Oh, we're giving like 1-day passes to like 7 different people, 20 different people. Like, they were just giving away tickets. There's people that I saw that got general admission for both day 1 and day 2. Mind you, I think when the pre-sale was on, general admission was about $400, $500. People were getting this for free. So there was people that paid for their tickets that were pissed. Understandably so. I would be upset. I bought tickets and I was upset. A week or 2 before the concert, they released to a bunch of people who already bought tickets a 50% off code. And then at the last minute, I saw a couple people on Twitter posting codes that's like, hey, if you want free tickets, use this code. I fly into LA on Thursday. And then Friday rolls around. I'm so excited, but what is this? Artists are canceling left and right because they're having issues with their visa. I don't know, maybe if it wasn't just enough time to do it. It sounds like, or at least from what I've heard, is that Camp was not taking responsibility on the visa issues. Since these artists are coming into the US and they're working, they have to fill out their side of the visa so that the artist can perform. Makes sense. Camp was not like releasing any statements. So the first artist I saw was Bam Bam posting like this ominous tweets of like the really sad face, the airplane, and like the red X, I think. Then after that, I go on Instagram and I see Somi's like airport pictures. She has her luggage and she puts ... And then I saw Taeyeon's. Like, she posted a whole statement saying that she's not gonna be here. She posted this. The day before the concert's supposed to start, nobody's in. After everybody's posting these ominous tweets that are like, I can't fly in. It was really nerve-wracking. Like, in my mind, I was like, you were right. This was a scam. People are canceling. You should get your money back. At 9:46 p.m., and I remembered because I got the email to prove it. they sent out an email that says, oh hey guys, there's a lineup change. Like, artists can't make it, so there's gonna be a lineup change. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can ask for your day one refund. Because I was so fortunate enough that somebody was just giving tickets away on Twitter. But she said, I'm not going anymore. Here's the ticket. Don't worry about paying me. So I got it for free. I went to go click the refund. It's a Google spreadsheet. I've never requested a refund from a Google spreadsheet before. And I think it was at this point people were like, okay. But anyways, so you have 5 acts for day one. That canceled. There's only 8 acts to begin with. So what did they do? They moved T1419, now known as TFN, to day one with Momoland. So there's 5 acts performing on day one. But just like other people, I was really hoping that they'd extend their time. Well, they did. For like 5 minutes extra. But I wish it would have been a little bit longer. You know, because originally the time was from 2:30 in the afternoon to 11 o'clock at night. After everything got cut, it was 2:30 in the afternoon to 8 o'clock. Day one. Oh, the sun is shining. I wake up at 6 o'clock. I go on Twitter. Monsta X canceled. Of course. That was just the norm, not the exception. At this point, I was so frustrated. I was a little bit angry. So I just wanted to see them for the first time, and it was just really disappointing to wake up to that. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to Monsta X. So we show up an hour early. We get to the gates. In case you didn't know, the Rose Bowl's stadium, outdoors. Yes, it was cloudy, it was overcast, not very California sunshine weather. And there wasn't that long of a line. We were in the venue within 30 minutes. Got there at 1:30, they opened at 2:30. They were supposed to start at 2:30, but they were still doing sound check for Super Junior. So, hey, while waiting in line, we got to hear Super Junior perform. And that was pretty cool. Super Junior, more like Super Senior. Well, we're literally going on about this being the Campfire Festival of K-pop. Hashtag campfire. Okay. So we go in. I basically pick a random seat. At that point, my refund was processing, thank God. So I get this free ticket seat. I don't even know where it is. So I just sat somewhere randomly and I was just looking and I'm like, okay, can I move any closer? So P1 Harmony is opening. They are so good. I was lucky enough to see them perform in Denver and oh my gosh, they're so talented. No wonder everybody loves them. Kiho, what a man. P1 is performing. There is absolutely nobody in. Naturally, you're like, oh, well, they just opened the gates. Show started 15 minutes late because they opened the gates late. Everybody's piling in slowly. P1 starts and I'm like, okay, there's nobody. I'm gonna move up, get as close as I can because I love these guys. And I'm jamming out, and as I'm jamming, security's literally dragging people away. I do not have footage of this. I have included somebody's TikTok right here. I was in this area. Security was dragging away. Reportedly, she was assessing. Noticeably, like, I'm looking at P1, I'm looking at her in the situation, and because there's nobody in GA, everybody can see this happening. So I'm watching them, and they're like avoiding eye contact with that side of the stage. Kiho was really sweet. He was really encouraging. He's like, thank you guys for being here. Things don't usually work out the way that they do, but we're glad you're here. We're glad to be here. They were amazing. Oh my gosh, dude. It was so good. So good to see them. Dude, I was so hyped the entire time, but especially during Follow Me. Kiho also said that this is the first time they've revealed their new hair in public, so there's a comeback soon, and you guys better buy their new album.
If you know, you know, but I'm just saying, keep an eye out for P1 Harmony. You know, we're always working on teaching you guys new sides of us, and we're always working on to, do our best, so please look out for maybe new stuff, I don't know.
T1419 shows up. They start, like, everybody's chanting, they're really excited, and they come on stage and they're playing a song. They're playing Dracula. They have the visuals going on. They come on stage slowly and they set up. But the thing is, the song doesn't stop playing. And it doesn't stop playing for a full 2 minutes. They were in position for like maybe 20 seconds and then they got up and they're like, this isn't stopping. Let's interact with the crowd. And that's what they did. Props to them. I love them. They're so sweet. They start waving at the crowd. They're smiling. They're giving hearts. Oh my gosh, they're so sweet, you know? And eventually, song resets. They get into position and they play Dracula again. This time for a minute long, and I was like, oh my god. So entirely, they just decide to scrap Dracula. And instead, they're like, well, we got a little bit of time. The translator comes out and she starts doing a Q&A. She's like, let's ask some questions and get to know the boys. Did you know T1419 stands for teens 14 to 19? Nobody in the group is that young. The youngest member is 18. That's probably why they rebranded to TFN. They go on to play a couple of songs and I'm like, okay, I like these guys. They are super talented. They're like a new group. I'm gonna show support. And I was having a great time. Well, the translator comes back out and she's like, well, because you guys are so new, let's start talking about you guys. So here's the best dancer. Gunwoo was like, I'm the best dancer, and so he dances. And I love him. She also asked who did the best eggyo. So Kari is like, I can do that. So he does an eggyo. It's very cute. Well, then they get to this question. She says, who here does the best BTS member impersonation? Oh my god, collectively. You could just hear it in the crowd. Maybe it's just where I was sitting, but you could collectively hear, like, did she just ask that?
BTS impersonator.
Who does that? That's very rude. These guys were really sweet and they're like, well, BTS does their own thing, we do our thing. Let's not compare each other because we're both successful. Like, we're both trying hard. Like, they were just really respectful about it.
The boys color. I really respect them. We can.
But this translator was like, she was kind of rude, kind of standoffish. Maybe like, I don't know what her deal was. Maybe it was just a bad day. She wasn't translating full sentences. She wasn't translating everything. I didn't notice it at first. At this point, somebody next to me was like, they're giving away free GA tickets. And I was like, oh my god, they are. She's like, yeah. She's like, the pit is so empty, they're literally just giving it away. So you bet I went and I got a ticket. This is my wristband. So I go down there, I get the free wristband. They go, like, they don't even ask anything. I just put out my wrist, they put the band on there, we were good. So I go down there, go to the pit, and I was there just in time to catch TFN's final song, and I was super close and I was like, yes! Because at this point it kind of started to rain. Yeah, that wasn't fun because I didn't have an umbrella, I didn't have a jacket. I was in a dress. Mind you, I looked smoking, but I was in a dress. It was cold. That's when Momoland came out. I love them. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay, so I've been in love with Momoland since 2018, obviously when Boom Boom came out. Never did I think I'd ever see them live. And now I got to see them twice. Day one, they perform, they open up with Bam. And the entire time, like, they're so sweet. Like, it's raining. And I can't remember who it was, but one of the members the entire time was having ear set problems. Very common issue throughout the entire night.
Okay, someone disappeared again. This happens a lot today. There's small issue.
So she keeps coming off and on stage, and the entire time, Nancy, so sweet. She's engaging with the crowd. She's like, we're so glad to be here. Like, we're so happy to be in LA and be with you. Can't remember who it was, but one of the members was talking and doesn't hear anything back after she finishes. And she says, oh, do you guys have a translator? Do you not have a translator nearby? And the translator goes, I'm here. She did not translate anything. Well, eventually, after they're done performing Thumbs Up, they're like, oh my gosh, is it raining out there? And we're like, yeah, it's raining. And so they walk down to the edge of the stage. She's like, if you guys are gonna be standing in the rain, we're gonna stand in the rain with you. I'm still like fangirling and blushing because it's at this point that I was like pushing in, and I was like closer to the front stage. I was like, yes, absolutely, come down here. I had like 1 or 2 interactions with Nancy as she was like walking down. I think Joey looked at me. They were amazing. They performed their English tracks. I didn't realize how much of a bop Yummy Yummy Love was, and now I'm obsessed. It's on my mind constantly in replay. They're doing great, and it was just, I don't know, it was such a magical time. I know I'm supposed to be like dragging Kamp right now, but I was having the best time I could with the situation I was dealt. I was like, yeah, all these artists that I was looking really forward to aren't here today. They're not here, but I will enjoy the artists that did come out and are working their butts off to ensure that the audience is having a great time.
Real time!
So, the rain stops, and it's just in time for Icon. At this point, I am fighting for my life to push up because I have been an Iconic since 2015. I'm gonna try to fight to be able to see one of my old groups. So, I'm there, and I think it's at this point I'm realizing that, okay, there's a ton of people pushing in. It's because Icon's performing and Super Junior's performing after them. So everybody that's pushing to the front is Iconic, or they're an elf, and they're getting ready to push up for when Super Junior comes on. So Icon, oh, what is there not to say? It was my entire Twitter feed, was just their set. I am speechless. Getting to hear Rhythm Ta live? Are you kidding me? DK came out with the sunglasses and everything. Somebody next to me was like, is he trying to be like G-Dragon right now? He looked so good though. Oh my gosh, Bobby freaking stole the show. Absolutely, that man is a dad. He's got bills to pay. So, oh my gosh, he takes off his sweatshirt. He's got like that white, like a thin white t-shirt on. I got a fan cam of him sitting, and it's the best tweet I've ever posted. But yeah, no, they were so good. I cannot post any of my Icon videos because it's just me singing in all of them. They only had 6 songs, 30 minutes. Not enough time for them. So Rhythm Ta happened, Love Scenario. They're like, let's sing first. Let's hear you guys sing. And everybody's singing Love Scenario, like the chorus. And I'm looking at Jay, and Jay's like, he's like, you guys. He's like, we didn't know that you knew the words. It's like, obviously we know the words. They played Bling Bling, and I like Bling Bling, but not that much. And then I went nuts. They played B-Day. Dude, we were really like bees that day because we were all dancing, communicating. Everybody in GA was like really sweating because we're all dancing next to each other, and that's what bees do. They walked down between the stage and the barricade rails, and they were just like high-fiving people, and I was so mad because I was like, damn, I should have pushed up. I should have fought everybody. So during Icon's set, near the end, DK threw water on us, and I was like, oh my god. Somebody on Twitter was like, I literally got baptized by DK, and I have it on video, and I was like, dude, me too. So there's only a few of us that have been baptized by DK. I'm very honored. Icon leaves, and we're like, come back, play an extra song. They didn't. Oh my gosh, at about 7 o'clock at night, Kamp official posts a statement that says, Monsta X isn't coming tomorrow. Mind you, Like I said, Starship had already made the announcement at like 7 o'clock that morning. And they even specifically wrote, they're like, Kamp asked us not to say anything, not to put out an official statement until they did, but we just didn't feel right with, you know, with the fans not knowing. So finally, the headliner, the last act was Super Junior. Super Junior is one of those groups that I've like listened to and have been kind of into since I first listened to them, and that was back in 2012. Oh my gosh. I can't remember what song it was, but Sorry Sorry really sold me. Like, their music's fun. It's really good and it's high energy, and it was so fun, especially in that crowd, because as soon as iKON left, all the Iconics in the front left. They let Super Junior fans, elves, move up. Because at this point, you know, because it's at night, you can get a good look at the stadium, and there was just a ton of light sticks for Super Junior. So I knew that everybody decided to come later in the night, makes sense, to support iKON and Super Junior. I just felt so bad for the first act because nobody was there. It was sad to not see the same support for the openers. So Super Junior's coming out there introducing themselves, and can't remember who it was, but one of the members was talking in Korean and he said a lot of stuff, and she said like maybe one or two things back from what he said. And he looks over at her and then he like starts speaking English because she didn't translate everything.
할아버지, 할머니, 아저씨, 아줌마 모두가 함께 즐겨주셔서 감사합니다.
Thank you so much for your support, everybody.
Everybody. Everybody. Brother, sister, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, cousins, friends. Is it everybody? Oh my god.
It was Donghye's birthday, yay! So they brought out 2 cakes, a D and an H cake, and it was so cute. Like, we sang happy birthday to him. It was just so good. They were performing old songs, they were playing like new songs. It was an amazing time. Day 1 ends, and yes, I sit and I reflect, and I'm like, well, wonder what tomorrow's gonna be like. Day 2 comes around. I show up about an hour earlier, but there's a lot more people here today. I talked to my friends and they're like, it's because Epic High is here. Epic High and aespa are here, so there's gonna be a lot more people. I'm walking by and I see that there's a big like TV truck like saying happy birthday Ning Ning, and I was like, oh my god, it's her birthday too? Happy birthday to her. She deserves everything in life. Now that like I've seen aespa, I'm like, okay, I like them. So realistically speaking, I don't think there was a whole lot of issues like at first. There wasn't any more cancellations. Like, I was really worried that there was gonna be 1 or 2. I was like, Chungha's not coming. I was like, if everything's been going the way it's going, she's not coming. They had a link posted. They did not send out an email for refunds for day 2. It was just a link that was going around on Twitter. That was like, hey guys, if you want a refund, here's the link. So today I didn't get a free ticket, so I had to use the one I paid for, crying. The only issue was that the ticket that I bought was high up in the nosebleeds. Well, because people weren't buying seats, they weren't buying tickets, they moved everybody down. So in this stadium, they literally blocked off the area that had my seat and replaced it with like big banners. So I go up to the guide and I'm like, hey, my seat is no longer available, what do I do? So they said, well, you can either get a new seat or we can get you to GA. I got that GA wristband a second time because I needed to be up close again for when Momoland performed and for Chungha, obviously. And that's what I did. I bought 4 bottles of water so that it would last me because I was dying of thirst. I was dying of dehydration, my throat was sore the night prior. I run down there and I'm on the walkway and I'm like, absolutely, I will get a perfect view of them high up on the stage, like on the main stage, and then I'll get like a good view of them walking, maybe some interaction if I'm lucky, and then I'll see them in the front. So I'm holding, and there's a lot more people this time around. Even like with the openers. T1419, TFN, they perform Dracula. Oh my god, it was so good to hear that in one shot without them screwing it up. They did amazing. They had different outfits today. I got more interaction. I love Kevin. Why is there always a Kevin in a group? I don't know, but the Kevins are always really cool. So, Kevin and Gunwoo, Bias and Bias record, they're really cool. They're really fun. They added 2 more songs, like they switched out songs. So they had 2 more songs today. Awesome. Momoland came out, performed the exact same set list, but this time because I was closer. So I got some interactions from Jui and Heaven, because she's a little piece of heaven. Heaven, Jui, I think Nancy looked at me again today. Like, there was so much interaction. They were so close. Living the dream. The queen herself comes out. She's performing Snappin'. Oh my god, Chungha, I love you. Thank you for coming. You have made my entire day. And pretty much everybody around me that pushed in, like they literally fought their way in. So this girl comes up to me, but she's like, are you here for Chungha? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not moving from my spot. Oh my gosh, I loved her in Produce 101. I loved her in IOI. I was there for her debut single, Why Don't You Know? Oh my god. Amazing. I was breathless, speechless, everything. I had such a great time. I mean, I was mixed. So I was having a great time listening to her. Like, I saw Sparkling live. She performed California Dreamin'. She performed a pre-release song. She's like, this is a special occasion. I'm releasing a song here in a couple weeks. You guys are going to be the first to listen to it. And I was like, absolutely.
Our Texas way! This next song is very exclusive just for you guys. I was thinking, you know, since I'm coming to LA again, you guys, you know, encouraging me, supporting me, what can I do for you guys? I'm releasing a pre-release song here.
Like, the same thing was happening. There was just a ton of technical issues. During Flying on Faith, it was so bad. It was, the music was delayed, or her singing was delayed, but there was something off until she realized that it was off. She took out the earpiece and it was better. That's not on her. Like, I just felt so bad. She kept walking back and forth on that stage. She was really interacting with people. I love her for that. Amazing performer, amazing stage presence. I got to hear Why Don't You Know live. I cannot speak highly enough. So it was after her set where a bunch of people were just pushing it in for Epic High. I get it. I totally understand. But at that point, for me personally, I was like, I am dying. I want to see Epic High, but people were literally shoving me, almost pushing me to the ground. I don't want to be up here. And so I went and I left to get food, but I was in line for so long that they started and performed 2 songs. So I joined in the second half, and that's where Tabo was like, you know, things don't usually work out the way you are.
Needless to say, because Epic High has been around for a very long time, and we've pretty much seen it all. We have mad respect for the people that can take a bad situation and try to turn it into something positive. Shout out to all the artists that came out this weekend. Despite all the difficulty, and worked very hard to put on a good show for all of you that are here. Also, shout out to everyone that wanted to be here but couldn't make it. I know for a fact that every artist that wanted to be here tonight, they really wanted to be here. They prepared very much, and things just didn't go according to plan. But I'm sure they would love to be here with you tonight. So shout out to all the artists, all the fans, here or not.
Like, that was just the theme, the entire set. He was just poking fun at how unorganized everything. yeah, how unorganized everything was. And like, it was so funny, he was joking. He was like, if there's ever a Netflix show, I want to be in it.
These last 2 nights will be remembered. Just saying, I'm just saying, if ever there is a Netflix show or a Hulu show, I want to be in it.
Yeah, no, it was really funny. They absolutely utilized every bit of that stage. Respect. They were amazing. They're good. I understand the hype around Epic High. I do. But, oh my gosh, talented. So funny. And I knew he was. Tab was hilarious. But that was what it was like. They signed a t-shirt. They threw it into the audience. A lucky fan caught it. Very jealous, but yay.
Spontaneous. I truthfully, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where this shirt came from. It's possible someone was shirtless back there. What a night to remember. Remember. Remember this night. Joking aside, jokes aside, we really know, we do realize how much difficulty you face to be here tonight. The artists had to go through a lot too, but nothing compared to what the fans had to go through.
He's like, you guys better remember where you were because people are going to be talking about Camp LA 2022. Like, where were you on this day? I was front and center for everything.
I don't know if this is a silver lining or any consolation at all, but 10 years from now, or 15 or 20 years from now, they will ask you this question. Where were you during Camp LA?
So they get a whole bunch of water, they throw it on the audience, and a little part of me is like, dang, I should not have moved. That would have been so cool. After the set, Tableau gets off from that main stage in the front, and he goes around the rails and he's high-fiving everybody and showing like tons of love. What a guy. What a guy. I'm definitely checking out Epic High next time. Finally, we end the night off with aespa. I see aespa perform live. I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky. At this point, I realized there's like a very small opening near the front of the stage that nobody's utilizing. Everybody's crowding into like two places and nobody's like up in the front rails. So I go there, I see them, and so talented. They opened up with Black Pampa. I didn't like that song when it first came out, but it has really grown on me. So seeing them perform, what? Their fashion, what? I get it. I understand. I understand now. Winter's outfit, can we talk about that? That is everything I've ever wanted and more. So just because she wore that beautiful piece, she became my bias. Karina's makeup, oh my god, so gorgeous. I loved their set. Even though they were the closing act, they only had 30 minutes. I'm not complaining, you know, or they gave them 35 minutes, they gave them 5 more minutes. aespa said life's too short. I said your set list is too short. They were amazing. I don't know how else to say it. They were so fun to watch. They were so visually stunning. I enjoyed their dancing. I'm not very familiar with them, but they were really good. They were very engaging with the audience. I liked them. and I would definitely see them again. After all is said and done, we go off. So I know I highlighted a lot of positives about camp, but I don't want to look at it and be like, oh my god, it was awful and it sucked. There were some parts to it that sucked, but I am one of those people that can turn a bad situation into something good. I enjoyed every single artist that was there. Kiho and Tableau were really adamant of saying, we are glad that you guys are here. You know, it's been a mess, it's been a struggle, like this hasn't been as planned as it was supposed to be. We're glad that you're here and we're glad that we're here. And we're like, show some love to everybody that's been here, show some love for the people that are here. And I think that was a wonderful message, and that's what I did. I will say that I do have quite a little bit of complaints. So this stunning piece of merch that you see, this Camp Los Angeles shirt you see, isn't it fun? Isn't it great? Day one, this is where I decided to buy this stupid shirt, because I am a sucker for buying t-shirts for every single show that I go to. Hoodies are $80. T-shirts are $45. And they're selling like clear plastic bag totes for like $35, I think. I said, well, I'm gonna buy a shirt today. I should have waited on buying this shirt because at some points, so during the setting up and taking down, or between the cleanups of each performer, people were just carrying shirts and throwing them into the audience. I mean, none of them landed towards me. Like, that would have been really good. That would have been too cool. But they were just throwing them into the crowd. Well, I guess the next day I'm waiting in line for food and I see that the t-shirts have been marked down. So the hoodies are now $60 and the t-shirts are now $35. So they dropped them down a little bit. But the same thing was happening in the GA. They kept coming out and they were just throwing sweatshirts and t-shirts in the crowd. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Who knows, if I just waited like right before the concert ended, I could have gotten a t-shirt for like $25 if I played my cards right. No, I paid full price, just like I did my ticket to the concert to begin with. Another thing that Camp did that I didn't really like is that they announced that there was like gonna be no official like distribution of unauthorized merch. So naturally you're like, okay, so no bootleg merch. Okay, makes sense. Well, I guess that was also including freebies. They announced that like maybe a week or two before the concert that there would be no like distribution. You can't do that. There's people that did it anyways. A very sweet person was like, hey, do you want a keychain as a freebie? And I was like, yes, please. I was like, thank you, I didn't know they were doing this. Somebody was also giving out banners for Kai, and I could not find who they were. But look, slightly better. I don't know, just an autofocus. It's P1 Harmony keychain. But that's what they did. They banned freebies, which totally defeats the culture of going to a K-pop concert if you're the ultimate K-pop experience. The most common complaint I saw, and I agree, was that most acts only had 30 minutes. I know that probably on such short notice they couldn't add more music. Makes sense. But after that they added like maybe 5 more minutes to everybody's time. I just wish that they would have added more. That's my only complaint on that. I wish that they had more. Oh my gosh. And then the translator. The translator was a mess. Not only like being a little unprofessional with TFN, straight up just not being there for Momoland on day one, and not translating properly, mistranslating, not translating things at all. On day 2, she pulled it together and she was there the entire time, ready to go, and I commend her for it. And then yeah, the technical issues. It was bad on both days. Like, it was awful on day 1. It screwed up Chungha's set on day 2. Like, that is probably the biggest complaint and the most noticeable. Like, out of the 3 people I went with, 2 of them are literally like people in the music industry, and they're like, yeah, it's like, it's hard watching this because they should be doing better. They should know what to do. On the pros, I got GA tickets for free. So instead of paying the $200, or instead of paying $400+ for the GA, I got it for free, and I only paid $135. I also like to think of it this way. I got to see groups that typically don't tour in the US or haven't toured in the US for a long time. And I saw groups that I probably would not have paid that little to see. For for aespa, no way was I getting into their show for $135. No way was I going to get into Icon, Super Junior for like less than $150 to go to their show. I mean, that's like with resellers. If I'm really quick, then I can probably get it for cheaper, but I do like that they got a lot of artists from different fields. It would have been so amazing to have seen the full lineup, but things happen. Primarily not having an organizer that is good at what they do. Sorry, I'm so frustrated. I would have done anything to see Peaches live. So Kai, please go on tour in the US, please. I'm really glad that I went. It was an experience. If they do indeed decide to make a documentary about this festival, I would also like to be a part of it. Tableau, if it doesn't get made, you should be the one to make it. I mean, it would be genius. You get to film it with the artist side and then you get to do it with the fan side. It would be genius. Do I really think that this was a campfire fest? A little bit. I mean, at least we weren't stranded on an island. I know it was really cool because I got to meet people from literally all over the US that flew in for this event. I talked to a lot of people, so I am very thankful that I got to talk to people. I got to meet people who had similar interest. I had friends there. We talked about it after. It was a mess, but this was our mess. Maybe the real camp was the friends that we made along the way. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I kind of just rambled. I talked about a lot of groups that I liked. Let me know who you liked. Did you go? Tell me what happened to you. Please. I need to know. I just ordered an I Survived Campfire t-shirt and I am looking forward to getting it. Alrighty. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. I hope to see you around. Don't know how often I'll post, but this is the first one. Alright. See ya.